I'm going to show you today how to use Gravit Designer. Gravit Designer is a nice program that's similar to Adobe Illustrator or Corel Draw, but it has a couple of advantages. One advantage is that it is cloud-based, or it has a cloud-based element, and that allows students and adults alike to use Chromebooks in order to do their designing for something like vector files, and that's how I use it. So, and the other advantage is that it's free, and you can store your files on the cloud. So when you want to go to Gravit, what you do is you type in gravit.io and you hit the search, and when that happens, you will be brought to this page. In order to go and sign up, you have to hit Got It, go to Designer. That's not intuitive. You can scroll down and read and things, but you need to hit this blue button. Now, I already have an account, but if you hit that button and you don't, it'll take you to a place where you can create your own account. Since I already have an account, it takes me to the next sub-level, and it looks like this. Now, it has some templates that you can choose from, or you can open from previous files that you've already created. But imagine you're going to create a new design. And the nice thing about Gravit is that before you even begin, it asks you what are the dimensions of your design space. And it gives you options for the units. So I like to choose inches and say that the laser cutter I'm going to be using is 32 by 20 inches. And then you hit create, and there is your design space. It automatically fills the screen, but if you want to zoom out, you hit the minus button over here, and or you can zoom in a little. And you're going to need to do that as you're working on sort of delicate portions of your design. The other thing that I like to do right away when I set up is I like to go to the view and I like to show the grid. This allows me to make sure that my objects are perpendicular, vertical, horizontal, etc. So let's imagine that we're going to laser cut a toolbox. So what you want to do is you want to hit the Shapes drop-down menu, and in there is various options. But let's imagine we're just going to start with a line. You want to draw one line, and it doesn't look perpendicular, and you can check that by checking the position. So as you draw, you really want to watch this position menu change. So I have drawn just a line. Now I want the other side of my box to be the same height, and so I just want to highlight the line. And it would seem intuitive that you would go to edit and you would copy, but when you do that, it asks you to use the shortcut controls. So it's highlighted, you do Control C, you Control V, and it pastes it right on top. So now you have two lines that are exactly the same height, but I've moved them in such a way that they're no longer on the same point in the grid. And the way you can check and adjust that is if you click on this, it'll show your position. So your position right now, if your Y position is 2.78, on the other line, the Y position is 2.64. So if you grab it in the center of the line, you can move it so that it's the same. And those are your two lines that are the same height and they're starting at the same Y position. So then you would grab another line, connect them, and I have snap to shape turned on. I'll show you that again. But it's snapping to the shape. This is the other. You can go to view to set your snaps, or you can go to your snap icon. And I've got it, I want to set it snap to shape so that it is making sure that it's snapping to the exact previous shape that's nearby. So there's the 3 sides of my box. And I'm going to create a little bit of a variation. I want it to go down so I can get my arm in really easily. And now I can set any angle I want, and then I want to flip it. Oops, sorry, I need to copy it first, so I'll flip it again. I want to copy it, so Control C, Control V, pastes it right over the top. I'm going to pull it out so I can see it. I want to flip it, and I want to drag it to the other side. It should snap to the previous shape. And then I'll just do a connector line. Very easy to do when your snap tools are on. Now, then I can just quickly grab the whole object and merge it. Now I have a merged shape that allows me to shrink it. I want 2 sides to my box, so I'm going to do Control C, because this is a very large box if it's a 20 by 32 bed. Control V. Now I have 2 sides to my box. I can go in after and delete one of these lines so that when the laser cutter's cutting it, it doesn't double cut that line. And you can go to Control X to get rid of one of those lines, but one still exists. So that's sort of a little technique. And then when you're ready to save, you go to the save icon over here, and it asks you where on the cloud would you like to save. You can save it right in there. I've created a folder already for Woodstock Elementary School, or you can create a new folder and you save it. And it is now saved. You can then download it from the, you can download it, and you can use Cloud Convert to convert it to a DXL file. So that's just a beginning tutorial on Gravit. There's a lot more to it, and I'll teach you more later on. Thanks.